Hi, so welcome to this special series in which we are going to discuss 200 good quality questions of quant section so as you may excel in your preparation for CAT to admission into elite B schools, premium B schools. Okay, so here's the question before you. I'm just getting aside, I'm giving you a reverse count of 5. Okay, I will count reverse for 5. And that's your time. You can pause your video or take a screenshot and try to answer the question first. After that, we shall solve it together. Fine? And your time starts now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fine, I'm back here. So I hope that you have tried the question on your own. और अगर नहीं किया तो भाइयों फिर से solve कर लो. Okay, let's solve it together. It says, which factor will occupy the 48th position? 48th position. So we are talking about the factors of a number, and 48th position if all the factors of this number are written in ascending order. Okay, so there are 2-3 terms which you must be familiar about. आप सब जानते हैं factor क्या होता है? Factor are those numbers which divide a number completely. And also remember that when you are talking about factors, we are talking about integers first thing, right? And not only integers, we are talking specifically about positive integers, right? So when we are talking about factors, so by default it means positive integer factors. The numbers which are positive integers and which divide a given number completely, they we refer to as factors. Otherwise it couldn't be said which integers a number is divisible by. In that case negative integers will also be considered. So यहाँ पर हमें negative से confuse नहीं होना है, fraction से तो of course नहीं ही होना है, right? So we are talking about the positive integers, factors which will divide this number completely, and when they are written in ascending order, that means in increasing order, तो 48th position में कौन सा number आएगा? So here you must know very important factor, a very important fact. So when if you have any number n, so it may have many factors, right? Of course, 1 is the smallest factor for all the numbers. उसके बाद कोई और फैक्टर हो सकता है, like it's a second factor, third factor, fourth factor, and so on. By the way, 1 is always the first factor, right? 1 is always the first factor, and let me write first factor and so on up to say nth factor. First, let me write like that. ठीक है? So a number may have n number of factors. So factor number 1, 2, 3, and so on up to the last factor, nth factor. So for any natural number, any positive integer, smallest factor यानी कि f1 क्या होता है? Can you tell me what is the smallest factor for any number? Remember, factor means positive integer factor, right? So that is 1, right? So 1 is the smallest factor, positive integer number which divides any given number completely. ठीक है? Number again means positive integer we are talking about, and the largest factor which divides a given number, it is the number itself, है ना? So this thing is true for all the numbers. This thing is true for all the numbers. Now why we are discussing about this? So because to understand a very basic fact that all the factors always appear in pairs in such a way that product of first and last, as you can see here, it is 1 into n, that is n only, and will always be equal to the second and second last, third and third last, and so on, right? And so on. These factors always appear in pairs, so that product of first last, second and second last, third and third last, and so on. So product of each pair is always equal to the number. Fine. So here we are having the number 18,000. Let me write 18,000, 18,000, 18,000, 18,000. Okay. So can you tell me what is the smallest factor of 18,000? It is 1, right? Smallest factor of 18,000 is 1. And what is its largest factor? Of course 18,000. You can verify yourself. So what is the product of these two numbers? It is 18,000, right? Let's continue. What is the next factor? 2 also divides this number. So 2 is the second factor. And what will be the second smallest, second largest factor? Of course, it is going to be 9,000. You can think for a while and check. क्या 9,000 और 18,000 के बीच में कोई नंबर होगा क्या जो उसे डिवाइड करेगा? Certainly not. And it is very clearly observable कि 1 के बाद next 2 ही आने वाला है, right? So when you divide 18,000 by 2, you are going to get 9,000 only. So there cannot be any number in between. I hope this fact is very clear now, right? So our objective is to identify the 48th factor from ascending order, from beginning, right? So 48th factor के corresponding factor कौन सा होगा? That also we need to know. तो उसके लिए सबसे पहला काम which we should do is to find out the total number of factors for this number, right? So let's calculate total number of factors. So 18,000 I need to write this number in its prime factorized form first. So you can see that this is 1000, so that makes it 2 cube, and 18 is 2 into 3 square, 9 into 2 is 18, right? So 2 raised to the power 4 into 3 square into 5 cube. That becomes the prime factorization of this number. I hope it is very clear. मैंने कुछ लिखा नहीं है. I'm just thinking aloud, right? And that's what you are also supposed to do. So this is 1000, which is 2 cube, 5 cube, and 18 means 2 into 3 square, because 9 into 2 is 18, right? So 1, 2 is here and 3 are here. The total 4 powers of 2, and 3 square is here, so 2 powers of 3, and 5 cube is here. That makes it 5 power 3. Okay, so what is the total number of factors? So that you know. So we just need to increase the power by 1 for each of the prime numbers, and that will give us the total number of factors, right? So that comes out to be 5 into 3, 15 into 4, that is 60. Bingo. We want you to find out this only. There are total 60 factors. So when I'm talking about the 48th factor, see in this pattern, if you see, so first factor and the 60th factor here, their product will be equal to the number itself, which is 18,000 in this case, isn't it? Yes or no? That we have already discussed. So going by that way, so second factor and 59th factor, they will also be multiplied to give the result 18,000. That also we have written already, right? So our objective right now is to identify 48th factor. Can you tell me what will be its corresponding factors, so that I have no need to write all the 60 factors? Without writing all the 60 factors, let's try to identify what is a corresponding partner. So it's very simple to do. How? You can see that 1 plus 60 is 61, right? Let me write here. So 1 plus 60 is coming out to be 61, है ना? Same way here, 2 plus 59 is also 61. So basically, ये कौन से number वाले factors हैं, their positions when added, that always gives a constant number. It's 61, right? So same way 48 के corresponding which number it should be? So what number should be added to 48? So that the result comes out to be 61, it is 13, right? So it confirms that I need to identify the 13th factor from beginning, from the smallest factor here in the ascending order, and its corresponding factor is the 48th factor which we are looking for. Fine, let's identify that quickly. So I don't need to write the corresponding factors for all the numbers. So just try to write the 13th factor in the ascending order, and the corresponding factor would be the 48th factor which we are looking for. Okay, let's check them. So 1 is 1 divides this number, 2 divides this number, 3, yes, 3 also divides this number. Let's move further. 4 divides this number. I can see the prime factorization, right? So for that purpose, we can make use of this prime factorization. So 3 divides this number, yes. What about 4? Yes, 4 also divides. Here it is 2 square. What about 5? Yes. So next number 5 is also a factor. After that, 6 divides. Yes, 2 into 3 will make 6. So 6 also divides. What about 7? No, 7 is not there. 8, yes. 2 cube 8, divide this number. 9, yes, 3 square 9 is there. What about 10? Yes, so 2 into 5 will make it 10, right? What about 11? No, 11 is not there in this prime factorization. What about 12? Yes, 2 square into 3 will make it 12, right? So 12 is the factor of this number. 13 is not there because it is a prime number. 14 is also not there because 7 is not there, so 14 कैसे आएगा? 15, yes, 3 into 5 will make 15. So 15 is a factor here. 16, yes, 2 power 4 is 16, so 16 is also a factor. 17 is a prime number, that doesn't divide this number. 18, yes, so 3 square 9 into 2, 18, 18 is a factor. Let me count. We were to look for the 13th factor, remember? So 13th factor we were to find out, and corresponding factor will be the 48th factor. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th. Bingo, we got it. So this is a 13th factor, and its corresponding factor is going to be the 48th factor which we are looking for. Now how to identify this? We know that product of these two numbers is going to be equal to 18,000, right? Now can you tell me कि 18 में क्या multiply करना चाहिए? What number should be multiplied to 18 to get 18,000? It can't be simpler than this, right? It is simply 1,000, isn't it? So that 18 times 1,000 comes out to be the number itself, 18,000. So the 48th factor which we are looking for actually is 1,000. That's it. So that's the answer.